Okay, hello, I am Mr. Jai. So I'm very excited to teach at Admina TV. It's an opportunity for TRASM and terminal classes to improve their English. So today I'm going to present you a lesson on if clauses. So if clauses. So the most important is maybe first the structures. If clauses, when we say if clauses, most of the time we have three conditionals for if clauses. We said, for example, the first conditional, the second conditional, and the third conditional. So we're going to start with the first conditional. The first conditional. It is also called the first conditional, the real conditional. Why? It is called also the real conditional. We said we call it the first conditional. We can call it also the real conditional because it is used, we said, for possible and real situations and real situations. Okay, suppose I announce a test to my students, and I said, for example, announcing a test to my students, I said to them, if you study well, you will have good marks. Okay, you have here an example. If you study well, you will have good marks. And this is before a test. I announce a test to you, the students, and I say, if you study well, you will have good marks. So the most important thing here is the structure, and then also the use. We said we call it, the first conditional is also called the real conditional because here l'hypothèse est bel et bien réalisable. This is before a test. I said if you study well, you will have good marks. So the condition can be fulfilled here. It's quite possible. That's why we call it the real conditional. Now let's go to the form. Maybe it's a little bit complicated. You need if. So if we come to the structure of the first conditional, it's a little bit simple. If you see the words that are underlined here, you need just if plus study. What tense have we used here? We have used the simple present, okay? If plus simple present, and it gives here the future. Will plus base form is the future, okay? We said future, and future is will plus base form. And this is the first conditional. We call it also the real conditional, and the main structure is here if, simple present, and future. Future is made of will plus base form. Now let's move to the second conditional to we said. Okay, the second conditional is also called the unreal conditional. The second conditional, we sometimes call it, okay, the unreal conditional, because it is most of the time used for impossible situations. Most of the time we said we use it for impossible situations. So I announce you a test for the first conditional Now we correct the test on the second conditional. It's you. A student can say, if I studied well, I would have a good mark. I would have a good mark. Okay, why do we call the second conditional the unreal conditional? Because here, l'hypothèse n'est plus réalisable. I announced your test, I said, if you study well, you will have good marks. So maybe you didn't learn your lessons, and when we correct the test, you see that you have got maybe 5 out of 20. It's you, c'est vous comme élève qui dit, if I studied well, I would have a good mark. So here we call it the unreal conditional because it is impossible. The condition can't be fulfilled at this level. La condition ou bien l'hypothèse n'est pas réalisable à ce niveau. And how is the second conditional made? What do we need for the second conditional? Okay, check out the example here. We said, if, and what tense is used for the second conditional? Here it is a simple past. And what do we have for the second sentence? Okay, you have would plus have, and it is called the conditional present. We said conditional present. And conditional present is made of would plus, we said, base form. And this is the second conditional. The first conditional is made of if, simple present, and future. The second conditional, if, simple past, and conditional present. Now let's go to the third conditional. The third conditional, the other structure. The third conditional. It is also called the past conditional, the third conditional. Sometimes we call it the past conditional because we said it concerns only past situations. Okay, and how do we make third conditional? Let's go to another example, and we can keep the first example is still, it's possible to keep it. And what do you say here? You said, if you had studied well, you would have had good marks. Okay, so we come back to the use. Why do we call the past conditional the third conditional the past conditional? Because we said it's used for past situations. You have a test. We announce you a test. We use the first conditional. When we correct the test, you can use the second conditional, and it's you speaking. Now, when it comes to the third conditional, it's you also speaking here, but maybe a month later, okay? You check your test and you see that you didn't do well. You said, if I had studied well, I would have had good marks, a good mark, okay? It's you saying so. And how is the third conditional made? What do we need for the third conditional? You need if, and what tense is it here? And what tense do we have here? Let's go. We said if plus past perfect and it gives conditional past, like plain here. You have the conditional past. And what do we need for the conditional past? How is it made? You need would plus have plus past participle. And this is the third conditional, okay? You need would plus have plus past participle. Some would say you need would plus present perfect because it's have plus past participle. And here are the three conditionals. Most of the time, these are the three possibilities we have in the force form. But if can be replaced by some other words like, okay, you can have a remark here. Sometimes unless can replace if. We said unless goes with an affirmative sentence. Unless plus affirmative is if plus negative. Okay, and I can give you an example too here. Something like a warning I can give to my students. If I say, for example, if don't study well, you won't pass your exam, for example. You won't pass your exam. So we can give you another sentence here with unless, okay? Instead of if here, we can start the sentence with unless, okay? And what did we say for the form? We said unless plus an affirmative sentence is if plus a negative sentence. For example, here we said if you don't study well. Now if you use unless here, the sentence becomes here affirmative. You said unless you study well, you said you won't succeed your exams. You won't pass your exam. Okay, so most of the time when we give you if or if clause is on the Bfem examination, we can give you a sentence with if and ask you to transform it with unless. Or it's possible for the first conditional, for the first conditional to use as soon as or when. Okay, for example here, as soon as and when can replace if for the first conditional. For example, I will write you back. I will write back. You can say here if I get your message. So in this sentence we can skip if and use as soon as or when. And what do you say? For example, you can use here as soon as or when, and you say the same. You keep the meaning. The meaning does not change here. Example, I will write back if I get your message. You can say, for example, I will write back. He said, as soon as, or you said, when I receive your message. Okay, there is another particularity for when and as soon as. What is it? So after when and as soon as, use the simple present. Here you can't be using the past or the future, but here you use the simple present. We said after when and as soon as we use the simple present. Okay, thank you guys. This is the first lesson I would like to present to you. Admina TV. I will be happy to come back to you.